Okay. Today I'm going to be touching on some of the things I talked about in my previous video concerning transmigration. So, transmigration, to do a brief detour, well, a brief review. Um, Transmigration is when a superior being, the soul of the superior being, takes over the grown body of a man or a woman in order to do a certain task. So today we've seen Egyptian pharaohs. You know, when you look at the sarcophagus, you look at the rooms that is in, you will see chairs, you'll see a whole layout of things that today people believe that, the Egyptians, they believed in reincarnation, that they would come back inside that body. That's because they don't have no idea of what the Egyptians were doing. So to them, they believe that the Egyptians believe that they will come back inside that body that they died in. No, that's because they're missing a piece to the puzzle. Okay? And this is because they don't know. So, of course, that's what they say, and the shit sound crazy to the average person that have no understanding of transmigration. So, to give you a full view of what's actually taking place, when you see the sarcophagus in the king's or queen's chamber, or you see the pharaohs in these sarcophagus, and you see these chairs and the layout to where they would have everything they need in order to survive. This was either one of the higher dimensional beings that was in an Egyptian body going through a transmigration process, entering into another body, maybe somewhere on another planet. Okay, maybe back to their home planet, could be Sirius. Okay, so, and then when they came back, that body would be in suspended animation, and they would take over that body in which they had left. So, these are some of the things that have been left out concerning history that have been taught by Egyptologists and other people and shit. But today, you will get it the way that it really took place. So, again, they will have everything they needed. Food. Even the food in suspended animation. Even the food. Everything. And from my research, when I read The Tibetan Sage by Lobsang Sangrampa, he states in his book that when him and his lama, they went up in this mountain, they went through this secret pathway, and they seen humanoid looking bodies that were real, that scared the shit out of them. Okay? And while looking at these bodies, they didn't, Lobsang didn't understand it, but his lama knew exactly what it was. And his lama, Minyar Donald, told him that these bodies would be occupied if one of the gardeners, aka Anunnaki, aka extraterrestrial, aka gardeners of the planet, but these bodies would be occupied by them whenever they want to visit this planet to do a certain task or to take back certain valuable objects in which they may have preserved on this planet. They may want to take it back to their planet. He also stated that some of these bodies had been wounded So they put it in suspended animation so that once they take it back to their home planet, these bodies, which could have been them in their original form, they would take it back to their home planet to do the proper medical work on the body, because they lacked the tools or resources on this planet to fix them or heal them. So they will put them in suspended animation and come back and get the body later. So these are some of the things that the Lama or the Lamas of Tibet teach. Specifically Lobsang Rampa. And again, once you read Ruins of Empires by Count Vonay, he states that the Lamas of Tibet are the custodians of the Egyptian high priest. So they qualify to know what they're talking about when it concerns Egypt. So for all you scholars out there that love Egypt, if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty into understanding ancient Kemet, study the Lamas of Tibet. It's just that simple. See, here is the comparison between the Egyptian high priests and the Lamas of Tibet. Herodotus stated that, this is according to George M. James' book, Stolen Legacy. Herodotus states that, and Herodotus was a black man, otherwise his ass would not have been allowed in the Egyptian mystery schools. Okay, period. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. That shit plain and simple. They did not allow foreigners in their mystery school. That's what they say in the Stolen Legacy, unless George M. James didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. I'm pretty sure he knew what he was talking about. Otherwise, he wouldn't have lost his life for writing that book. Okay, the man got his throat cut. And I think he got his tongue cut out as well. So I'm riding with George M. James on this one. But Herodotus states that the Egyptian high priests had a power that was supernatural. The Egyptian high priests had the power to cause things to levitate. Therefore, they were in touch with the demons, aka Damians. Okay? I'll go into that another time. Excuse me. As well, he said they had the power to alter the weather. You know, things such as make it storm and shit, and just fuck with the weather. And they also had the power to put a person up under hypnosis. Now here's the comparison. Wait a minute, they were telepathic too. Okay, now here's the comparison though. The Lamas in Tibet, they can put your ass up under hypnosis through telepathy. Okay? They have means of causing things to levitate with their minds. Okay? You ever seen them people levitate over there? They can do that shit. The Egyptian high priest could do the shit. So there is a great comparison between the two. Not only that, when you look at the planetary chakras, over there in Tibet is like the seventh, I think it's the seventh, is either the sixth or seventh chakra. And we know that the sixth and seventh chakra represent spirituality. So if you want to go to the spiritual side of the globe, pay attention to the chakra points on the planet where they are located. Now over here in America, it's the root chakra. Over there in California somewhere. But it's in America. So, and we vibrating low as hell. Because we over here in the root chakra, and these chakra centers influence us. But then again, you got some people that are I would say star seeds, because they overturn that, even though we are over here in the lowest chakra center of the planet. So these are the ones that have a key role into uplifting humanity. Okay? That's how I'm receiving it. But these gardeners or these planters, they aren't called the gardeners or the planters for nothing. These are the ones that have been destroying the planet, reseeding the planet with humans. When I say destroying the planet, I don't mean the planet itself. I mean like humans, humanoid people, mankind, whatever you want to call it. But I'm going to say humanoid beings. Okay, these have been the ones that have been wiping out civilizations. They nuked. They went to war with each other. Shit, they nuked Egypt and turned it into a desert. You can get that information out of the Sumerian tablets. Okay? These are the same beings that flooded out the planet and reseeded humanity. Okay? These gardeners. So, and they are the superior beings. So when you read in the Quran and say, we did this, we fashioned man from mud and breathe, it's talking about the gardeners, the Anunnaki. Okay? But these are a few things I want to touch on because I'm gonna say this too. When it comes to dinosaurs and shit, the Anunnaki have always used this planet as a planet of experimentation. This is why we've had woolly mammoths, saber-toothed tigers, dinosaurs, giraffes, lion, tigers, and bears. Oh my, all types of shit. But anyway, point is, when the dinosaurs were here, according to some of the stuff that I've read from the llamas of Tibet, they said that once the gardeners used to come on this planet, and this was during the time when it was just women on the planet. This is what they claim. It was just women on the planet at the time. And they would abduct these women against their will and take them as their servants, as their slaves, as their sex slaves. The gardeners, the Anunnaki was doing this shit. They would come on this planet and take the women. Now I can believe that shit because when I read in the Sumerian tablets, you type in, you can get it on PDF format, so you can get right to the point. Type in the word semen. Your boy Inky, aka Yahweh, name keep popping up where it will say, and Inky poured his semen into the mortal, and he poured his semen into such and such, and he was just getting all these women pregnant. Okay. And of course Noah the last came along because that was his son too. And while Lamech, according to the book of Enoch, Lamech was like, this ain't my son. He looked just like one of the holy angels, aka the Anunnaki, because the boy had locks in his hair. And when you look at the Sumerian gods, the Anunnaki, they got locks in their damn hair. So anyway, concerning the dinosaurs, one of the Anunnaki had got off a spaceship. They was, checking out their creations that they had then put on the planet, that they had then seeded. One of them tripped up. One of the vicious dinosaurs damn near ripped his body in two. The rest of the Anunnaki quickly gathered him, put him on this spaceship, and they said, you know what, we got to get rid of these motherfuckers. This is why they got rid of the dinosaurs, according to the lamas in Tibet. This is what they said when they consulted the Akashic records and saw it as it actually is. They claim that the history that we are taught, we would be totally surprised if we were actually to see the Akashic records. Basically, they saying that the history we were taught is some total bullshit. So, the Akashic records, when you revisit the historical events, it don't lie. It can't lie because everything is in the ethers. If it can give off a photonic light particle, there's an energy signature of it, and it is stored in the ethers, which is the Akashic records. So anyway, after they gathered that Anunnaki, They came to the conclusion that we got to get rid of these motherfuckers because they are extremely too vicious. And this is when they set it all ablaze and destroyed those dinosaurs. Yep. Nah, I believe that shit. I mean, you gotta have a reason to get rid of something. And that's a good reason. Because, you know, you gotta think about it. Shit, that could have been with somebody's brother, somebody they really love. And it was just an experimentation. They were just experimenting on any damn way. So fuck this shit. We gonna blaze all their ass. Here we have it. Just a little quick review on a couple things I wanted to mention that I may have left out. A few more things that hit my mind, so I just throwed it on in there. But until then, peace.